Hi, cutie pie. I'm April Sunshine, also known as Girl Reads Reddit. Hooray! And I'm back again. As promised, we are going to get into Am I the A-hole today. So thrilled. And by the way, I meant to tell you this last time, but don't be fooled. I am no expert when it comes to the matters of love. I just happened to have found my soulmate when I was 16, and I happen to be a loser who studies constantly whenever I find something that I'm interested in. And in this case, that was men and relationships. And so I sunk just hours and hours and hours on like marriage counseling and dating advice, etc., etc. I just wanted to learn everything, including things that didn't even have anything to do with me. Like, what's it like to date when you're a gay male? Like, that's never really gonna come in handy for me, but hopefully it will for you. And I'm such a loser that I don't know if I ever showed you guys this, but yeah, I studied human relationships and behavior in college and graduated with honors in psychology, the study of the human brain and behavior. So I know quite a bit about it because I'm a loser, frankly. And people have been telling me, every time I ask you about this stuff, you give me pretty good advice. Maybe you shouldn't be keeping it to yourself like a selfish you-know-what. So here I am. I'm sharing it. Anyway, let's try to be useful again, shall we? Let's get into Am I the A-hole? And then for the next one, we will go back to relationship advice. Okay. So, these are pretty new, which is what I want. I want them to be new enough to actually be helpful for people. There's no point in answering questions that have been answered 50,000 times already. Am I the a-hole for telling my mother she is a terrible mother? That sounds good. For calling out someone for staring. For going on vacation alone. We already know the answer to that one, don't we, loved ones? For not telling a girl her skirt was open and we could see her whole crotch area. We know the answer of that one. Is my partner an a-hole for not saving me from a flirty guy at a party? We know the answer to that one. For not wanting my underage daughter to have... Oh. For getting mad/upset at people in real life for petting my dog. That's interesting. Would I be an a-hole if I snitched this girl to my school? If I confirmed details of my sister-in-law cheating on my brother to their teenage kids. Oh, for telling my boyfriend we're taking a break if he boards a flight without me. Read backstory. Alright, so let's get started. Okay, so for telling my mother she is a terrible mother. I picked this one because it's actually kind of personal because I have been through this. My mother was truly, in my opinion, terrible, absolutely abusive and neglectful. But she didn't necessarily mean to be. She was very mentally ill and just was not capable of taking care of children. And luckily for me, I never actually had to tell her she was a terrible mother. She actually already knew. And I do remember the time, there was just one time she was willing to admit it. And it was just the sweetest thing that I will never forget. Changed my life. She pulled me aside, gave me a hug, and she said, "I'm sorry for being such a terrible mother." And I was, 22 at that point? And I just felt that all 22 of those years of feeling so miserable were forgiven in that moment because she recognized it. And she actually bothered to apologize. I guess that's what I was waiting for all this time, right? Like, for someone to tell me, you're not crazy. What happened to you was not fair and was not right. That was a special moment for me. But anyway, terrible mothers, I know about them. All right. I'm 19 years old and I have mental health issues since I was 12, technically even before. But when I was 12, they got stronger and I started manipulating people, treating them like S and so on. I became so bad that I even broke the law, and not in a minor way. After people found out, I got bullied, and then at the age of 14, I was living in a clinic for people with mental health issues. Wow. I don't like blaming other people for what I'm doing, but even at the age of 12, I knew that there has to be more behind this behavior. Now I'm 19 and I'm still doing therapy. I talked with the psychotherapist about the bullying and what I did to other people back in the day. She told me that my suspicion of my mother having done something terribly wrong might be true and I should spend more attention to her behavior. I did, and it became obvious pretty quickly that she used the same manipulation techniques that I used when I was 12. I confronted her about it and she confessed to me that she knows she is manipulating me. I was shocked and tried to ignore her confession because who wants to think their own mother is manipulating them? But she didn't stop, and now that I knew what she was doing, I'm aware of it. I realized that 80% of the conversations we had was her trying to manipulate me. So after a while, I confronted her again and asked her when she started. She told me she knows about it at least since I was 12 because that's when she started to talk about it with her sister who does the same thing to her kids. Oh my God. She also told me I shouldn't think bad of her as a mother because her parents manipulated her too. Because two wrongs make a right, right? And she really suffered from it during her childhood. So she passed on the suffering to you. That makes sense. But it's just a part of her personality now. Pardon me while I vomit. I was extremely mad. That's such a sad excuse for an adult human being. I manipulate you because my parents did the same to me, and it hurt me so much back in the day, so now I can't help myself doing this to you? Yeah, okay. If she would have done it subconsciously, I would have said I can understand. But she did it since I was 12 and was fully aware of it. Instead of doing therapy to change her behavior, she watched how her son had to live in a mental health clinic for months, and how he had to do therapy for years. She could have at least told my psychotherapist about it so they would have known where the problem comes from. I told her, I don't think bad of you as a mother. You literally are a bad mother. What your parents did to you is never an excuse for how you treat your own children, especially when you're aware of how much it hurt yourself while you were a child. And you know it since 7 years now, and you didn't even get the idea once that you might want to change your behavior. Instead, you hid behind the idea that it's okay to torture your children just because you went through the same thing. She cried, but honestly, I'm not even sure if she's doing that to manipulate me. Am I the a-hole? You're not the a-hole at all, and I'm so sorry that this happened to you. Wow, this one gets me. You definitely did the right thing because somebody needed to put their foot down and tell your mother that this is not okay. Two wrongs do not make a right. There's no excuse for her to have an innocent, defenseless child who relies on her, who trusts her, and just take advantage, just take full advantage. And I don't know exactly what she was manipulating you about, like what she was trying to gain from you with the manipulation, but it sounds like she is a very dangerous individual to be around because not only is she doing evil things to you, but she's not sorry. She's coming up with excuses, and they're not even good excuses. They're horrendous. And I'll be totally honest, I would leave. I would get out of there ASAP. ASAP. If there's a family member that you can live with that's not her sister, I would get out of there. I highly recommend it. And I'll tell you honestly, that's exactly what I did in my own life. As soon as I was 18, like I had a calendar on the wall where I was Xing off day after day after day to the day I would turn 18 and I could legally escape from my mother's abuse. I escaped from that household and I never went back. I went to college. I took out a lot of loans. I'm in a lot of debt right now because of it, but it was the smartest thing I ever did was just to get out of that abusive situation and into the real world where I could see that not everybody was manipulative and that there was a healthy, beautiful, vibrant world out there that I was being cheated out of. It changed my life, and it was not easy. It was terrible because my friends would always go home for Christmas. You know, I couldn't. There was nowhere for me to go. So during college, I stayed on campus, and it would be like a ghost town. When Christmas time rolls around, it's a ghost town. It's lonely, and you remember that you don't have a safe place to go home to, but they do. But it was infinitely better to not have to live there full time, honestly. So if you're looking for that kind of advice, what should I do? My answer to you has got to be get the heck out of there. You don't deserve it. Nobody deserves that. I'm so sorry. It's very smart and very excellent that you're in therapy. And I think that you definitely did the right thing to put your foot down and tell your mother, what she did was not okay, because it's not. If you did not tell her that and you just let her keep believing this is okay, then it's bad for you and it's bad for her, because she's living a lie. She thinks she's going to get away with this, but she's not. When she's old and weak and frail, she's going to rely on you. She's going to need you. Like, literally, a lot of people get to the point where they have to wear diapers again because their body is just so old and they just cannot do the things they used to do. They can't drive anymore. They need somebody to help them get groceries. They can't read fine print anymore. They need somebody to help them with that. And when you're old and in need and you have abused your children to the point where they can't even be around you anymore, you will regret it. Big time. My husband works in nursing homes. He sees what happens to old women who don't have children who can take care of them because they've just abused their kids so badly that the kid doesn't even want to be near them. He knows what the caregivers treat them like, what kind of care they get, how often they get pain relieving medicine if they're in horrible pain all day, every day. But if their kids were around, they'd make sure they got their pain medicine on time. But if your family is not around and you're old, all bets are off. And I know there's legality, like it's illegal to treat an old person like that. Whatever. Prove it. You can't prove it. You're just a doddering old person. No one's going to believe you. Oh, she's got Alzheimer's. She's got dementia. She's making it up. Your mom is going to be that person. In a bed, unable to move, sitting there pooping herself with no one to change it. Except for some stranger. And that stranger might be a man or a woman. So, my point is, you having the courage to stand up and say something could potentially open up the door for your mother to accept she was wrong, to go to therapy herself and try to fix it, and not wind up in that bed pooping herself alone with nobody there when she passes away. Because at the end of the day, we're all going to pass away, and she's a lot closer to that happening to her than you are. So you did the right thing. I'm super proud of you, actually. It's not easy. It's certainly not easy. I don't think I ever told my mom to her face. Although she already knew, I just left. And she knew, Kids don't leave their parents for no darn reason. I'll just say it that way. So, I wish you the best of luck. I'm so sorry this happened to you. Feel free to private message me anytime. I'll share with you any kind of information that might be helpful. Ask me anything. You're not alone. Okay, so hopefully this one will be a little less terrible. Am I the a-hole for going on vacation alone? Spoiler alert, yes you are. No. We have to read the post first. Throwaway and some quick backstory. I've recently finished up university, plan to do a 2 or 3 week vacation after it. When it came to planning vacation, my girlfriend was only available to come for 1 week due to work. It was a guy. I thought about it and decided that I wanted to still go for 2 weeks and do the last week alone, staying in hostels and exploring the cities that way. I spoke to a girlfriend about this and she was accepting of it and comfortable with me going. Fast forward to now, the vacation is in 2 weeks and my girlfriend has been attacking me about going. She told me she's told other people that I'm going and that they think it's weird that I'm going alone and have called me unsavory names for going alone. She still stands by that she's comfortable with me going but doesn't like how other people think about it. She said she thought it was a bit odd to go on vacation alone after speaking to so many about it. Anyone I've spoken to about it speaks highly of traveling alone. Am I the a-hole for taking 2 weeks vacation and doing 1 week alone when my girlfriend can only come for the first week? If you're the a-hole, then you're the nicest a-hole I've seen in a while. Because, yeah, there's nothing wrong with what you did. She's your girlfriend, not your freaking wife. Okay? You have every right to go wherever you want to without her permission. Because she's just your date. She's nothing, like, special. Like if she was your wife, this would be different. If she was your wife, then what you did was absolutely unacceptable. But this is your girlfriend. And on top of that, she agreed with it beforehand. Like, you talked to her about it and everything. You did everything right. So who cares what other people think? Like, they're wrong. I'm sorry, but they're just wrong. This is between you and your girl, and if she's okay with it, then it's okay. You did the right thing. You talked with her, you made plans ahead of time, you're going and you're finding yourself and you're exploring the world, and that is so brave and that's so important. So many people have not gotten the chance or even had the courage to do something like that. You're awesome. Good job. But this is an eye-opening moment for you to understand that your girlfriend apparently cares a lot about what other people think. And I would think really hard about whether I wanted to continue this relationship if she's going to be giving you such a hard time about what other people think. Because your relationship has only 2 people in it. It's you and her right now. Once you marry, then, your family is involved too because you're part of the family. But right now, it's just you and her. And if both of you are okay with something, then it should be okay. She should not be going to strange people and asking them about it. What the heck do they know? I have a strict rule about this. If someone's not helping me pay my bills, I don't give a what they think about what I'm doing for my life. And you should have that same rule too. Because why the heck should anybody decide what you're doing with your free time, with your money, with your life, which is limited, when they're not even helping you with life? It's as simple as that. If you got a flat tire on the side of the road, are these people going to come and pick you up or not? And the people who are going to bother to pick you up, maybe listen to them. But the people that just want to mouth off and make themselves feel important by sharing their opinion, go jump off a cliff. Anyway, you did the right thing. You need to talk to your girlfriend and figure out why she felt the need to talk to other people about something that doesn't concern them. Why she thinks that people who are not paying your bills have anything to do with what you can do with your free time. Because that's just a joke. I'm sorry, but it's true. I had a roommate one time. And he came to me one day and he was like, hey, could you clean up your bathroom because I'm having my sister come over soon and I think she might want to use your bathroom, so could you clean it up? And I was like, oh, okay, so she's going to help us pay the rent this month. And he was like, what? Like, she's going to help us pay the rent this month, right? Like, because she's deciding how I get to live my life in my own home, so that must mean she's contributing in some way, right? No. Well, then I'm not cleaning the bathroom. Have a nice day. And as it turned out, the sister never showed up anyway. She had better things to do, apparently. That's how much she cared. She cared so much that she never even showed up. But he cared so much about what other people thought that he wanted to come to me telling me how I should be living my life to make room for her. Ha! No. Have a nice day. This is your life. You're the only one who can make it worth living. You're the only one who can really be true to yourself. That's your job. And nobody else has any business sticking their nose into it. It's my honest opinion. You're not the a-hole. Good job. Have a talk with your girlfriend. Make sure this does not happen again in the future. If you're planning to keep her long term. Next. Am I the a-hole for not wanting my underage daughter to have S toys? I, male of 38, have a 14-year-old daughter called Emma. Emma's mother and I are divorced, with me being the primary caretaker of Emma. Emma and her mother have an okay relationship, but they are not really close, so I have encouraged my niece Katie to take on a mentor role with Emma. Emma and Katie occasionally hang out and talk about school, boys, friendship, etc. The other day I was emptying the trash can in the bathroom when I noticed some packaging of something that was definitely X-rated. My heart started racing as I was worried that Emma was considering being sexually active, or that she had perhaps already lost her virginity. I went snooping through her room. Normally, you've made a mistake, sir. Normally I respect her privacy, but she is a minor living under my roof, no excuses, and I had reason to suspect she was engaging in harmful behavior. You found an X-rated toy. Not like a syringe, drugs, or something like that. Okay. Sorry. And I found a small vibrator, lube, and condoms. So she actually has condoms, which means she's engaging in this safely. Lube means the exact same thing. When Emma came home from school, I confronted her. She was not pleased that I had gone through her room, and she shouldn't be. You've invaded her privacy. You've betrayed her trust. Shame on you. I pressed her for answers, but she was pissed. The argument escalated and it ended with Emma yelling, "Oh my god, ew, I'm not having S. That's so gross, you effing weirdo, mind your own business." Then slamming her bedroom door. Well, she was wrong for saying those things to you. I believe that it is very much my business what my underage daughter is doing under my roof, but I decided to give her some time to cool off. Yeah, she shouldn't have yelled at you. That was wrong. Two wrongs don't make a right. But she has every right to be angry because you have betrayed her trust. And you've stolen her privacy away from her. How is she going to feel safe in that house anymore now that she knows that at any time you could invade her privacy? That's really, really not healthy for a teenager. I called Katie and asked her what the F was going on. Katie explained that Emma had asked her some questions about S a few weeks ago. Apparently she wanted to know if it hurts and how to know when you are ready for it. Katie said that she had a talk about consent boundaries and told her that she should wait until she wants to, not just to make a guy happy. Exactly. Katie admitted that the vibrator was her idea and that she thought it would be a good idea for Emma to get to know her own body so that she could advocate for her own pleasure when the time comes. As much as I agree with the general idea of female empowerment, I don't appreciate Katie using her particular brand of you go girl feminism to buy S toys for a child. But Katie doesn't see it that way. I don't think Emma deserves any punishment, but I think that I should confiscate the vibrator and have a serious talk about what is age appropriate. Don't do that. She should be focusing on school, friends, and hobbies. All the other stuff can come later. Besides that, I'm wildly uncomfortable with the thought of my daughter using a vibrator. Ew. Especially because it might make her curious about losing her virginity. You are a fool. I know that she is going to grow up eventually, but as long as she is a minor, I believe I have the right as a father to decide what's going on in my own house. Emma's not talking to me. Katie thinks I'm being too controlling, and Emma's mother doesn't see it as a problem at all. Please help me out, Reddit. Am I the a-hole? Yes, you are. You have made a huge mistake, and you owe your daughter an apology. I understand not wanting somebody that you know, chances are you changed this girl's diapers. To you, they're a baby. But the fact of the matter is, in some countries, she's a grown woman. Her body is mature enough to actually carry a baby of her own. She's not a child anymore. I'm sorry. But those days are over. You have a young adult living in your house. And for you to invade her privacy is wrong. The best choice would have been if you found that in the bathroom, in the trash, which if it's your job to throw out the trash and you found it, that's totally innocent. That's okay. It's just to approach her with the wrapper and ask her about that, right? But you went snooping and digging through her stuff. That's really not cool. That's really not acceptable. And I understand, like, it's your house and you should be in charge of what happens under your house. But let me tell you, teenagers love to do what you don't want them to do. So the most likely thing that's going to come from this is she's going to get better at hiding her stuff from you. It's not going to be in that same place you found it before. She's going to learn how to pick up the floorboards or open up a secret closet open up the closet. You know, you can actually open up the walls sometimes, sneak things under the floorboards there, all kinds of places she can hide this stuff. What you're doing is you're teaching your daughter how to lie better. You're giving her reason to feel justified in lying and hiding things from you. And you're allowing her to get trickier and trickier because you've invaded her privacy. And that's what teenagers do. They find out something that you don't want them to do, and guess what? They really want to do it. Have you ever been in a situation where there's something in front of you that you really shouldn't touch? Like, imagine there's a big red button that says, "Do not push," in all caps. What's the first thing you're going to want to do? Push that button. So by telling her she can't have this vibrator, you have put a big red button right in front of her. And let me guess, you're going to be shocked when she pushes it. This is human nature we're talking about. And especially the nature of teenagers. Teenagers have real trouble believing that anything bad can happen to them. They are going to make silly mistakes. And if you're not going to let her do this in the comfort of your own household, guess where she's going to do it? Other households where you won't be there to save her. Some guy's household, some horny teenage boy's household is where she's going to go. And you won't be there to protect her anymore. So, I'm sorry, because I think that you meant well. But all this is going to do is teach her how and why to lie to you. And she's going to feel justified because you did something wrong first. So now she has every right to do something. Well, she doesn't really have the right to, but she's going to think she has the right to do something wrong in return. Because you invaded her privacy. Now she can disobey you and start lying to you more and hiding things from you more. And she already said, she said you, like she wasn't interested in actual S. So that's a good thing. But yeah, if I were you, I would approach my daughter and apologize to her, say, it really wasn't right for me to go through your stuff. I shouldn't have entered your room without telling you. I'm sorry. I was worried about you, but that doesn't make it okay. If this is something that you believe is healthy for you and you're going to use it responsibly, which I believe you are because you took the time to buy the condoms. So if you're going to do this responsibly, then, I respect you as a person. And I respect your thoughts and feelings for what is right for your own life. So I'm sorry about it. I'm not going to confiscate anything from you. Your property is your property. But just know that we need to talk more. I'm worried about you. I don't understand what's going on. I want to be part of your life more so that when things like this happen, I won't be so shocked and do these things. It's not your fault that I did any of these things, but I am sorry, and I wish we could be closer. That's what I would say to her. Just as long as you tell her that you're sorry, and she's not going to be punished, and her property's not going to be stolen away, you'll be on the right track. So, good on you taking your child in the divorce. Thank you very much for doing that. You are a brave and wonderful person for doing that. If my father had had the balls to do that, my life would be totally different right now. Totally different. But he didn't have the balls that you have. So I'm super proud of you. You're trying your best. You're learning, and sometimes you're learning the hard way, just like all the rest of us humans. So good job. Good job. Stay strong. Stay learning. And make sure that what choices you're making are really coming from your heart. Not from your squick factor of, ew, that's kind of gross. Not from what other people think either, but truly what you believe is healthy for your daughter. And if you're not sure about it, go ask. Ask a professional. Go talk to a family counselor. Look it up online. But more than anything, please apologize to your daughter and let her know that you wish you guys were closer. Don't make any excuses. Be very careful. Don't make any excuses and try not to blame her. Just tell her that you're really sorry for what you did and you're not going to do it again. And you hope that she can trust you again. And that will help. I promise you that will help. Initially, she might still be angry, but as she comes off from the high, the fact is, you did the right thing. You did the wrong thing to begin with, but then you turned around and did the right thing. So the only thing that she is justified in doing after that is the right thing. She's going to have to come to you and talk to you and do the right thing. And only you can set her up to do that. Okay? You got to be the big man right now. You got to be the better man. Good job. Good job. Daddy's taking care of their kids. Wonderful. You are amazing. I know you're not getting the kind of support that you should, because you happen to have been born with certain things between your legs. But good job. Excellent. Am I the a-hole for getting mad, upset at people in real life for petting my dog? No. Your dog is your dog. I have a guide dog. He's the best, and people should know not to pet service dogs on the street, yet people still do. On one hand, I understand that dogs are cute and people want to pet them, but at the same time, them doing that is potentially putting us at risk and ruining his training as a guide dog. I feel guilty sometimes for telling people off, especially when parents encourage their children to touch my dog. What do you think? Getting mad and upset is okay because you're justified. What they're doing is wrong, but acting cruelly to them, I would not recommend, and I would not say that's okay, because a lot of people don't know any better, especially kids. A lot of people just they're not thinking with their brains. When they see a dog, their brains shut off. It's nothing but the heart. It's just, yay, doggy, and they immediately respond, and they want to go touch the dog. They're wrong, but that doesn't mean you should be wrong too. What I would do is I would tell them, no. Please don't pet my dog. He's working right now. And they might not understand that, but you just have to tell them, please don't pet my dog. He's working right now. He can't play right now. He's working hard. Do you see this vest he's wearing? You see this thing? That means he's working hard. So if you see a dog like this, they're working. So please don't distract them. Just give them some space, okay? So try to be nice and explain to them what's going on. I know it takes a lot of self-control to just, because you're feeling, oh my God, why are you doing this? Why don't you people know this already? But a lot of people don't know. A lot of people have never seen a real service dog before. And so we have an opportunity to teach them, so that next time we encounter those people, or next time some other poor disabled person encounters that person, it's not going to happen again, okay? That's why a lot of people put those vests on the dog, so that it can send a sign to everybody, hey, this dog is working, please give him some space. And most people are not going to learn how to treat a service dog properly until we teach them how. But yeah, you're not the a-hole for getting mad, but please don't go off on them. There are better, healthier ways that are going to benefit you in the long run without hurting anybody's feelings, okay? Yeah, I'm not really sure. I don't really have much else to say to that. Good on you for leaving the house. I'll tell you that much. It's not easy. It's not fun. When you need a guide dog to go outside, that means that it is not easy for you. So good on you for leaving the house. And good on you for actually bothering to ask this question, instead of just going with your gut emotion. Those people are going with their gut emotion and just running and interrupting your dog. And you actually bothered to not go with your gut emotion and to really think about it and to ask other people for advice. That's excellent. You are an excellent human being. Good job on you. And good job to your brave, brave, brave partner. Fantastic. Fantastic. Would I be the a-hole if I confirmed details of my sister-in-law cheating on my brother to their teenage kids? My sister-in-law cheated on my brother with random men for 20 years. This is gonna have to be another video, because this is a whole can of worms. But thank you guys so much for coming. I'm going to send the link to this video to all of the people whose questions I answered. I hope that it is helpful for you. If you have more questions or would like to talk to me further about it, please go ahead and send me a message. I am totally happy to talk to you. I just want to help. I'm sorry if you didn't like what I had to say to you, but please understand it's coming from my heart. I want you to live a good life and have good relationships, because the more good, happy relationships we have in this world, the more better place it becomes. You know, that's what we all want, right? We just want a good world to live in, where people are gentle and kind to each other and are able to live their best life, whether they want to go on vacation, whether they want to, you know, just live your life. Just live your life. Just be you, because who else is going to be able to do it, you know? That makes the world a better place. And you guys just reaching out and bothering to ask for other people to chime in, you're making the world a better place. And frankly, you guys are my heroes. So good on you. I hope this is extremely helpful for you, or even just a little bit. Thank you so much for listening. I love you very much, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.